What is your favorite memory of Joe?
Okay, so Joe was roommates with my husband, and I remember when Alex was busy, me and Joe would just hang out, and my favorite memory is probably when we made a blueberry cobbler together. And it was just super fun. We were just catching up on life, and he's just the best.
How do you see God working in Joe's life?
Man, I've known Joe for 10 years now, which is crazy, and I feel like I've seen him just become like this amazing leader in God, and I've seen Christ's just like patience and steadfastness and honestly leadership a lot over the last couple of years. So it's been just really cool to see him just become this man of the Lord over the last 10 years.
How do you see God working in Joe's life?
How do I see God working in Joe's life? First off, I think Joe he's one of those guys that teaches me a lot about just like taking risks and like just honestly like following God with your whole heart. I think that's something Joe's really, really good at, and I've learned so much from him in that. And so as there's been a lot of change and transition in Joe's life, it's been so encouraging to see him just like really like go at it with his full heart and really trust God with his full heart, because it's hard to do that sometimes, and Joe really embodies that very well.
What is your favorite memory of Joe?
Favorite memory of Joe? So I've got many memories of Joe, but one of my favorite that comes to mind is when we lived together in college and did a lot of crazy stuff in college. But one of the things that comes to mind is we both went to this Ohio State football game, Penn State 2017. It was an unbelievable game. But like the last 5 minutes of the game, I like, we call it the Twilight Zone. Joe was just like couldn't even like talk to me. Like we're at the game and we're like coming back, we were losing by like a couple touchdowns and we came back, and Joe, I've never seen Joe this like nervous / excited, and then we end up winning the game in the end. And I just think Joe like threw himself on me, like tried to crowd surf, and like just was. I've never seen Joe like that in my entire life. So that's probably my favorite memory of Joe that comes to mind.
What is your favorite memory of Joe?
My favorite memory of Joe has to be at the Ohio State playoff game when we were screaming and yelling and hugging and high-fiving and talking to the Tennessee fans next to us and trying to, promote the gospel even in the midst of an absolute beatdown on Tennessee. And those guys were so nice to us, but it was just like a 3 straight hour party, having an incredible time.
I'd say mine is also probably Ohio State related. I mean, that's what we know about Joe, but probably the Oregon OSU game when we lost. There was a group of people in Joe and Abby's living room, and Joe just got on all fours, head in his hand. He was very sad. I don't know. It was good that he showed a lot of emotion, but yeah, it was a little funny seeing him on all fours by himself in the living room.
How do you see God's working in Joe's life?
Oh, this is great. And I think the passion, ever since I've known Joe, he's always had a ton of passion and never been afraid to wear his emotions on his sleeve. I think that's a really good thing for people. And then as you grow and mature, the ability to take that and focus it and drive it towards something, to whether it's to be angry at injustice or to be, really joyful and celebrating something, and also when to mellow out and just be deep and reflect on something. And I think that's what I've seen you grow in over the past 5 years, is really the ability to take and moderate the emotion in a way that is helpful for spiritual formation, not for you, but for other people, right? It gives you spiritual formation, but the key to it is that you're doing it to serve other people. You're trying to figure out, how am I going to change? How am I going to be the type of person who can be a light, even if it means, moderating my own fiery emotions that I love?
I think being in a group with Joe for the last 5 years, Joe has been leading our small group together. Just seeing like how he's progressed as a leader and that sort of aspect has been really good. I think that it's been obvious that God's been working in his life just based on the questions he has for us, the way that he has asked us to dig deeper into our own personal faiths. And I also think just like with this whole transition, Joe has been put in a great spot to focus on his like spiritual formation and maturity, and I feel like I have seen that coming through already.
What is your favorite memory of Joe?
Oh, easy money. When you got jumped by my beach crop fellas at Timberwolf Lake, when you mess with the wrong crew, you know what I'm saying? You know what happened. You don't mess with me. Believe that, all right? Love you, Joe.
What is your favorite thing about Joe?
Well, the thing I like best about Joe is his indomitable enthusiasm. Every time he gets up there, he's just like on fire.
What's your favorite thing about Joe?
Um, I really love that Joe is super funny and personable, but also that he puts his whole heart into our church and making sure that we are growing spiritually. And he's just a good time and a good hang.
What's your favorite thing about Joe?
I would say my favorite thing about Joe is that he's really relational and he wants to get to know us and make an investment in our lives.